So here we can query the parent fields using the relational field. So when we are looking at a parent field, we need to replace, if it's a custom relation, we need to replace the underscore C with the R. That's going to be your relational fields to access the parent fields. And it's just a one level of using it, correct? And do we have any parent to the project? We have a user lookup. Yeah, we have one more user, project lead of the project. One we have. Okay, so let me put it in this way. I have a resource, and on resource I have a parent called a project lead and a project or a parent records, and I was able to query on the or like I was able to query the parent fields as well. Now I was trying to query on a project object. In project object, let's say I have some information like project lead, and project start date. Let's say I just so in project lead, I have only one record. I have that's sad. That's okay. And just I will add this condition not to confuse. Project lead not equal to null. Okay. So I have project lead. This is also a parent record to a project. I want to add what is my project lead name. So how I can do? Can someone tell me?
C to R dot name.
Okay, that's it, right? Now, if I write the query, so you can see I got the project lead name. So in project, the parent is a project lead, and I was able to access. Fine. If I'm going to before query over here I have project lead is one parent, and other parent is a project. And in the project, I have a I can access the parent fields, right? So along with this stage, I want to see the lead information on the project. That is, along with stage, I want to look at a project lead from a resource. Okay, but it is also a lookup field. So I want to go to this lookup and want to display the name. So what I can do here? Again, we can change C to R, so it's become a relation, and I can write the name of the project lead. So that I'm going to extract the project.contact.name, which is but a lead on my project. Similarly, I can go up to 5 levels while I am writing a query from a child to parent. So I have a one parent, and that parent has one more parent, and that parent is having one more. Like that, I can go 5 levels while using a child to parent query. Are we good here? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Now And similar. So we see when we have a custom relation, that means I have resource as a custom object, and project is not about the objects. What is the relation? The relation field that I created. The project is a custom field I created. So instead of C, I'm going to use a R. So we already have some standard objects, and in standard objects also we have some standard relations. Let's say the same object, let's say project object. I created this lookup called a project lead, but there are some lookup fields which I have not created. Let's say the owner ID. You see the owner ID, right? This lookup is not a custom field. This is a standard field which I not created. But still I want to access this parent field data. Then how I can access? In simple terms, all standard relational fields, the API name of the field is owner ID. Then you have to just remove that ID from it, and that will be used as a relational field. Let me say it again. Let's say I have a owner field, which is a standard field. So you see this label is a owner and a field name is a owner ID. Similarly, if you have one more called a created by, you will be having a mostly everything you will be having as a created by ID. So you will be ending with the ID as a API name of that field. So what we have to do was, if you want to convert it to a relation field, just we have to remove that ID part from it. That is going to be your relation field for all standard relations, whatever you take. Okay, let's use it relation field and extract the name. Okay, I have this one over here, and I will just first of all I use the owner ID field so that I will be seeing the owner ID field. So owner ID field, you can see it here. So if I want to get the name from it, I have to remove the ID, so it becomes the relation dot name. So what is the name of the owner? It will display. Okay, so here what actually owner is a lookup relation with the user object. So in the user object, we have whatever fields we have, we can extract all those. Okay, and I want to extract owner dot username. I guess we have. Let's didn't remember whether we have this field or not. Yes, we have username. You can use like this. So if it is a standard relation, how we can convert the field to a relation field by removing the ID. If it is a custom relation, you have to replace C with the R, then it will become a relation field when you are looking from a child to parent. So any questions over here?
So Bala, quickly recapping what you just said about just the last part. So when we are trying to query the standard fields from the parent, right? We remove the ID and just give the name, right?
Yes. It's not a standard relation. When you have a standard relation, that is what we have not created already, will be fields. All the names will be, the API names will be ending with the ID, owner ID, created by ID, whatever it is. Or I will show some more also. Let's just these two fields are common to if it's a custom object or a standard object. Now we go to the standard object and look at some examples. Just I'll make a notes over here. We can go up to 5 levels, and it is for a single relation. So we can add more relations also. There is no limit. We can add more parent fields. So we don't have a no limit. When I'm saying a more parent field from different objects. So if we have a 2 or 3 parents, so 10 parents or 20 parents, you can add all parent fields. If it is starting from one parent, there you have can go up to 5 levels, but you can add any number of parent fields. Okay, there is no limit to it. And then what is the next one? Use the relation field dot field API name in the parent object we have to use. And then um, how to identify the relation field, or I would say relation expression for custom relation fields. Replace underscore C with underscore R. So for example, in object resource, we have a, it could be lookup or master, doesn't matter. Both will have a same format. If we have a lookup relation to project object with field API name is project, then your relation expression is project underscore R. Okay. For standard relation fields.
So here we have to go for a lookup relationship always, and then we need to go for the field, whatever we want.
Yeah, it could be lookup or a master relation. Basically, we have only two relationship fields. One is a lookup and master. It could be anything. It could be master or lookup. Whatever the field you are having, that field name has to be replaced from underscore ski with the underscore R. So you need to only look for a lookup and a master relation fields.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll say here master relation. It could be any relation. Fine. And then if you have standard relation, standard relationship fields, remove the ID at the end of the remove ID from a lookup relation field API name. Replace relation field API name. When I'm saying a relation field, the relation field could be a lookup or a master. Detail. So, for example, in contact object, we have a lookup relation to account with API name as account ID. Then your relation expression is account. So I'll keep it a double quotes so that we can understand. Okay, let's go with some standard examples. So I have this owner also one of the standard field. Even though if it's between the standard objects also, it will be similar only. So contact, in the contact object, we have a account ID. See here, account ID is nothing but a relation field. So if you want to access any fields from it, yes, I will adding one more field over here to understand. What we can do, account dot name of the account we can extract. So we'll use, or if you want to account dot industry, I want to extract, you can extract. Okay, this is how we can extract the parent fields. If it is a standard relation, we have to remove the ID and use it as a relational expression. And if it is custom relation, just we have to replace the underscore C with the underscore R. When it is looking from a child to parent. Fine, we are good so far. Any questions over here so far? Okay, hope we don't have a questions. And jumping on to how to write a parent to child queries. So can someone explain like what it mean when I'm saying a parent to child? So we have seen child to parent. So if any of this record is having a parent record, then we are trying to extract that information. What is a parent to child and how it is different from a child to parent?
We'll be querying from parent record to child record here, right?
Okay, let's say for this example, if I use which object, we can write a parent to child. So now I'm writing a query on a resource. I have parents for a parent as a project lead as one parent and a project as a one parent. So if I want to write parent to child query, on which object I need to write the query?
Query on project, and the query should be for child means resource.
Okay. So if I want to write between project and resource, these two objects, there are two ways. One is I can use a resource and I can extract the project fields that become a child to parent. So what we did now. So the same way, if I want to see the resource and project information in the same query, I can write on the project object And along with the project fields, I can get the resource data. That is the parent to child. That's fine, good. How it will be different? Different in the sense, let's say here, if I have one resource, I will be having only one parent. It could be the same parent. Let's say I have 15 records. If you see all this all these four records having the same project. So I'm going to get the same information for all these four records. If you look at the name, same stage, same contact name. Why? Because all of them are same record of the parent. So I get the same information. But I have only one value, so it could be same thing. It doesn't matter. It will just display the value. But if I write a query on a project object for a single project, I'm going to have a four records of a child. Correct? It could be more also because I was not sorting over here. I'll just do a sort quickly. Order by. So if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in project 2, I have a 7 records, and project 3, I have 1, and project 5, I have 2, and project 1, I have 5 records. Just think how the output will be. Do you able to imagine anything how the result will be if I write a parent to child query? We got any clues? Let's write the query and see. I'm going to write a query on a project. First, I will show you how to write, and then I will explain everything in that query. Okay, I have a project. Now I have project name. Along with the project name, I want to query the records from a resource as well. How I can do that? The first thing was I need to write one more query inside it. So I have to use this functional brackets. Inside it, again, I'm going to use a one more query called a select name from. I have to give the object name. What should be the object name here? Let's say I'm using a resource. So it's not exactly same as the API name of the resource, but it's going to be a different. Even though you're querying from the resource object, but we don't directly use this one. We have to use the again relational expression. So what is the relation expression here? That is going to be a key while writing it. So first of all, I will open a relation field where we have this relation on a resource. On the resource, we have a relation to the project. One is the API name. So while using a child to parent, we're using this direct field and replacing this underscore C with the underscore R. Now, if I open, there's a one more field you will be looking at called a relationship field or relationship name. You see here, this is called a relationship name. Whatever that you give in a relationship name. So when we give this name, when we creating a field, the same time itself, we'll be declaring this value as well. Whenever you create a lookup or master detail relationship, you will be having option to give the relationship name or child relationship name. This is what we're going to use in the parent to child query, followed by underscore C. Underscore R. We're going to use the relation field as, and then run the query. You will see the result. So how the result is going to display, that's a good point. See here, Most of them are not having any resources. So project 3 have one resource, and the project 1 have 5 resources, and project 2 have 7, and project 5 have 2 resources. That's how it's going to be displayed. So in simple, this again going to be a one more list in simple way. So I want to add some more fields over here on the resource. I have name and description and discount also I want to add. Let's say I want to add these 2 fields also in my query. So I'll use this 2 fields also in query and this query. You can see all these 2 fields. Okay. So it's going to be a list inside the list in the project. Okay, any questions here? How to get this relationship field or any questions on this field? And one more point before you're going any questions, we can go up to only one level. So if you have any child to a resource, we cannot write one more query inside. We cannot do that. We can go only one level from parent to a child, and we can write using the relationship field name in the field API name. Okay.
So, quick question, this child relationship name, right, which is the key to query, we appended it with underscore underscore r, right, in the query?
Correct.
Okay.
Whatever there in this one, this will be followed by the underscore underscore r we'll use in the query. Now we'll be having the same thing with the standard one. So let's say I have again project only, and in the project we have any childs or not. So how we can check was we can go to page layouts and we can see that and relationships, related list. So all related lists. So have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these are, so resources is what we have, and similarly we have all these are the child records to it. Okay, let's say have a project history. Okay, before I'm jumping on this, I'll use a standard field and I'll explain first, then we'll come back here. So I don't want to confuse. So account and contact also having a standard relation. So if I go to a contact object, so we have account lookup. Account lookup. If I open this field, we have this again child relationship name. So usually how it works is this going to be a whatever there you can use exactly there. It's a standard field, so you don't need to use underscore underscore r over here. You can use exactly the same relationship name. Let's say I have query on a account object, and I want to have along with this fields, I want to add a query from a select ID comma name comma email comma phone from what is the relation field I have? I have a relation field as a relationship field as a contacts. So standard field, I don't use any underscore underscore r's. Just exactly I use the same field as it is. That's how you will get. Okay, now we have this. Now the second part was what is the return type of these queries. So I'm writing the query and display showing you on the workbench. So it is displaying you without any written type has to be mentioned, so you don't have any problem here. But while writing the code in Apex, what would be the return data type? Can someone guess? Let's say if this is a query, what should be the return type of this query?
Account?
Only account?
Oh.
Account array. So it's going to be a
Mm.
list of account because the
Yeah.
query is on a account object. So the result also will be get only the list of account only. If it's single record, obviously you get only one record, but we can assign it to a only list of accounts. That's fine. Now, how to access these fields? So I'm querying the child records also. The contact records, I have one more list inside it, and I have each field. How can I access this child query and child, so whatever the child result I get? So how can I access these fields or these records, and inside the records, how can I access these fields? Okay, just think how we can do it. I will show you tomorrow only, but I want you to try all those. How can we access those? Just I'm giving some examples over here for you to just refer. So similarly, we can go up to one level, and similarly here, if you have more childs, also you can add the queries to it. So it's not like you have only one level, so we can add only one, not like that. So if you have one more child record to the project, you can sorry, if you have one more child record, then you can add that like comma, and again you can write the query you can use. Okay, and now so again we can add more child, you can add more child queries as well. And then use relationship field dot use relationship field, not this one. So what we call it as a write inner query on child object using relationship field in the lookup or master detail field child record. What's a child object? How to write the inner query on the child object. So if you have a query on the parent object, inside query will be on a child object using the relationship field in the lookup and master detail field in the child object. Okay, and child object, then it has to be inside point. If standard relationship you have to use exactly same relationship name you have to use. And if there's a custom relationship, then relationship name followed by underscore R. Okay, below are the some example. Okay. Any questions before we are wrapping up?
No, Bala.
So I will leave it to you. So try to assign it to a variables in Apex class. Try to write some examples and see how we can. First of all, first we need to assign it to the some variables, and then look how to access the inner query or parent fields. How we can access those fields. Okay. If you try your findings, and tomorrow I'm going to show in the code use cases or with some examples of the parent to child queries and what we covered today. And using this having function, we will be having one example using this theory. Okay. And we have some interesting topics tomorrow, like doing DML operations and governor limits. So far I have not covered any governor limits for this SQL queries. In short, we can query up to 50,000 records using a SQL queries. Okay, so it is not for a single query, it is entire transaction. Let's say if you click on some button and if you're calling a method, so inside that method you write a query on some object. So if you have only one query, that will be having a limit up to 50,000 records only. So if your object is having more than 50,000 records, it is throwing you an exception. Okay, so let's say you have a 3 or 4 queries. So the first query will have a limit of 50,000, but it is returning only 1,000 records. Okay. The second query, you have only the left limit is already you use 1,000. So the remaining is 49,000 records only you have. So in the second query, you have extracted 5,000 records. So for the third query, you are left with only 5 plus 1, 6 less. That is only 44,000 only you have a limit for the third query. Similarly, so if you're having a transaction, so you are querying, like having some queries, and when you for the first query, it will be 50,000 and it will be reducing. Similarly, if you say the net, whatever, how many number of queries you run for a transaction, you can query from the database is only 50,000 records. So if somebody asks like how many rows we can, like what's the limit on the number of rows that is returning from a SQL query is 50,000. Okay, so we'll discuss more on the governor limits in the next session. Okay, and if you have any questions, ask. And if everyone available tomorrow, it's 31st. Let me know. If most of you having a plans, then we'll skip. Otherwise, we can meet. Good. We can have a session tomorrow. Yes or no?
Yes, Bala.
Yes, Bala.
Okay, good. So we're going to have a session tomorrow and we're going to cover all this. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Bala.